Hello, my name is Miriam Osea, and I will be doing my research project on how Freud's theories have influenced playwrights such as Strindberg and theater as a whole. So, according to Brockett, August Strindberg was a realistic Swedish dramatist who had won high praises for plays such as The Father in 1887 and Miss Julie in 1888. According to the European Journal of Psychoanalysis, his drama The Father is an early testimony to the decline of the father's position in Western society and to the manner in which the family structure was disintegrating. In this play, Strindberg focused on the question of whether one can really know for certain if a person is in fact the father of a particular child. He paints the portrait of a man tortured by the suspicion instilled by his wife that the child he loves and thinks of as his own is in fact fathered by another man. Strindberg's drama ends with the death of the father who, in his doubt, rage, and despair, has been declared mentally ill by his wife, his physician, and a clergyman. Strindberg's story illustrates how the issue of the recognition of the father is essential to the understanding of the human being. Freud pointed out in a footnote added in 1917 to Psychopathology of Everyday Life that Strindberg possessed an uncanny faculty for understanding the secret nature of parapraxis. This shows that Strindberg understood and took influence from Freud. According to Brockett, however, Strindberg's most powerful plays came later when he began to write after undergoing a bout with insanity in the 1890s. Strindberg began to write dream plays, and Strindberg made this comment on dream plays. The author has tried to imitate the disconnected but seemingly logical form of the dream. Anything may happen. Everything is possible and probable. Time and space do not exist. On an insignificant background of reality, imagination designs and embroiders novel patterns, free fancies, absurdities, and improvisations. The characters split, double, multiply, vanish, solidify, blur, clarify. But one consciousness reigns above them all, that of the dreamer, and before it there are no secrets, no incongruities, no scruples, no laws. With these plays, Strindberg reshaped reality according to his own vision and required the audience to seek meaning in an incomprehensible universe. Strindberg was the first dramatist to make extensive use of the unconscious, and his acceptance and influence came strongly from the psychoanalytical theories of Sigmund Freud. Freud sought to analyze the structure of the mind, to describe its functionings, and to suggest means for dealing with abnormal behavior. Freud had emphasized internal, unconscious psychological causality, which before people had placed such an emphasis on external environment as a determinant of human behavior. Truth had become extremely complex, perhaps unknowable, because it was difficult to break through the masks of not only others but ourselves as well. The subtext of a play was now just important as the spoken text, and Freud's theories were going to have a major influence in bridging many of the divisions that had previously existed between realistic and non-realistic drama. According to Charles Neuringer, a professor of psychology, theater, and film at the University of Kansas, Freud's theories were vitally important to the birth of modern theater, even being credited as the father of modern theater. With how much he influenced the theater, it was interesting to learn that in his later years, Freud did not seem to enjoy the theater, and was somewhat skeptical about its artistic merits. However, Freud did say to a friend that the healing cathartic effect of art might be greatest when viewing the drama, which I found to be a very interesting quote. Even today, Strindberg's plays are still being performed. According to a New York Times review written by Bruce Weber on Strindberg's A Dream Play, his dramas are still affecting theater and audiences. Weber commented on how he had a strange dream the night before seeing the show, and once he saw the show, he said the experience of emerging from and sinking back into helpless fantasy, such as his dream, was remarkably similar to that of watching the production. Weber gave high praises to the performance in 2000, saying how it was mesmerizing, relentlessly beautiful, and unyieldingly self-dramatizing. This continues to show how Strindberg and Freud are still having an impact to this day. Glenn Wilson is a professor at Gresham College who wrote a short paper on the psychology of performing arts, in which it goes into depth about madness, creative genius in the arts, and how psychology is an important aspect in the arts. There is one thing that I found very interesting that Wilson had mentioned in his paper that I believe sums up the importance of psychology in the arts and how the arts can reflect the mind. In examining the characters and themes that recur in theater, film, and literature, we learn much about human nature, a nature built upon instincts that have served our survival since prehistory. Theater is one of the higher cultural activities that mark us as imaginative, creative, and truly human. At the same time, it reflects our animal origins and recalls the early struggles of our ancestors. I believe that Freud's theories opened up a new world of playwriting and influenced so many playwrights, directors, audiences, and actors to this day. Without the influence of Freud and playwrights such as Strindberg, the theater would not be the same today. And that concludes my research project on how Freud's theories have influenced playwrights such as Strindberg and theater as a whole. I hope you enjoyed it.